If you really want to achieve true mental efficiency, we've got to look past the quick fixes and start tapping into our own biology. In this explainer, we're diving into how to use simple things like morning sunlight and a little bit of movement to trigger the exact chemicals your brain needs to become unstoppable. And yet, we're going to do it without that dreaded caffeine crash.
You know the feeling, right? The alarm goes off, but your brain feels like it's still completely asleep, just trapped in that thick, heavy morning fog. And what's the first impulse? Reach for the nearest cup of coffee. Sure, it's the world's favorite social lubricant, but what if I told you it's not actually the best tool for the job?
In this slide, this breaks it down perfectly. On one side, you've got the common fix, caffeine. It gives you a jolt, sure, but it almost always leads to a crash, and pretty soon, it's a crutch you can't live without. The alternative? Well, that's the architect's fix. It's about building an internal system, tapping into your own biology for stable, sustainable clarity. It's about mastering the architecture you already own. To do that, we need to start thinking of our body as this incredibly sophisticated piece of architecture. Seriously, it's like a high-tech system that, when you calibrate it properly, is designed for peak performance from the moment you wake up. So, let's talk about how to unlock it. And this, right here, is the core idea. And it's brilliant. Imagine a skyscraper. If its solar sensors are covered up or just confused by a bunch of artificial light at dawn, the building's entire energy system is going to struggle all day long. But if they catch those first real rays of sun while the internal pumps are kicking on, everything aligns perfectly. Your body works the exact same way. So what's this system we're calibrating? It's your circadian rhythm. The simplest way to think about it is as your master internal clock. It's what tells your brain, your hormones, pretty much your entire body when it's time to power on and when it's time to power down. Getting this clock set correctly is the absolute first step to getting rid of that morning fog for good. Okay, so how do we actually set this master clock? The key is all in what you do the moment you wake up. We're calling this the serotonin switch, and believe it or not, it all goes down in the first 10 minutes. And yeah, the time frame is surprisingly short, just 10 minutes. That's it. This tiny window is the single most critical leverage point you have for deciding what your energy and focus are going to look like for the rest of the day, for the next 16 hours. So what do you do in those 10 minutes? It is incredibly simple. You wake up, and before you do anything else, before you check your phone, before you make coffee, you go find direct sunlight. And I mean direct, not through a window if you can help it. Actually step outside.
So here's the science behind it. That direct sunlight hits your retinas and sends a powerful signal straight to your brain to activate serotonin. This is a chemical that gives you an immediate boost in your mood and sharpens your focus. It's basically your body's natural good morning signal. And this is exactly why that very first choice of the day is so crucial. Reaching for your phone and just scrolling through feeds, that's a form of biological sabotage. That artificial blue light just confuses your internal clock. But choosing sunlight, that's choosing science. It's a deliberate act of aligning your biology for peak performance. Okay, but what if sunlight alone isn't quite cutting it? You know, what if that heavy, groggy feeling, what scientists call sleep inertia, just won't quit? Well, then you need a more powerful tool, a full system reboot that we're going to call the sympathetic surge. That feeling is totally real, but the solution isn't another external stimulant. The goal isn't just to paper over the grogginess, it's to actively flush it out of your system. You need to trigger a complete biological reset.
And the way you do this is with a fantastic biological shortcut, some kind of quick, intense physical movement. We're talking push-ups, jumping jacks, even a brisk walk, or a cold water reset, like splashing your face or a quick cold shower. These things act as a powerful trigger.
And here's the chemical payoff. These actions kick your sympathetic nervous system, your fight or flight response, into gear, triggering a surge of dopamine and norepinephrine. These are your body's top-tier energy and focus chemicals. They give you this clean, crisp clarity that honestly, caffeine often just can't match. So, and this is a really important distinction, this isn't just another jolt. This is biological optimization. You are actively clearing out all that leftover sleepiness by flooding your system with your own high-performance chemicals. You're not borrowing energy, you are generating it from within.
So let's zoom out for a second and see how all this fits together into a real, coherent strategy. For the quiet architect, morning alertness isn't some happy accident, it's a matter of precision, science, and deliberate intentional design.
Which brings us right back to this central question.
Are you relying on a crutch to just get through the morning, or are you actually building a reliable internal system? That choice, it fundamentally changes your relationship with your own energy and focus.
And this table just lays it all out crystal clear. On one side, caffeine reliance. The source is external, the result is a temporary jolt, and the strategy is really a low-value fix. Now look at the other side, circadian architecture. The source is your own internal biology, the result is sustainable clarity, and the strategy is high-value optimization. It's a night and day difference.
See, by prioritizing light and movement, you are making a very deliberate choice. You're choosing internal substance over an external status symbol. You're focusing on building a perfectly structured system that doesn't need a crutch to function at its absolute best.
And you know, this might just be the most empowering part of this entire process. You are not missing anything. Your brain already has the full chemical toolkit it needs to be sharp, focused, and absolutely brilliant. You just have to learn which switches to flip.
So the next time you wake up and feel that fog rolling in, don't just wait for the kettle to boil. Step into the sunlight. Move your body. The only real question left is, which switch are you going to decide to flip tomorrow morning?